our index man, Lloyd, and our stock reporter, Gordon, for this version of Weekly Market Update. But that, of course, will change next week when hopefully both of them will be back. So a couple of things from me. I'm not that keen either, Ainsley, I've got to tell you. But there are a couple of things that I am looking at. And perhaps this is the best of them. Euro Swissy. Euro Swissy, why? Well, you've just got to like that horizontal level, I believe. It's been a very, very strong support all the way through, or the winter, or my winter, and spring, even into summer of 2019. Dip below that level. I might go a little bit wider so that you can see the significance in that. It's done it before, and it's doing it again. So it's gone back above that line, come back below it, and now retesting that level. So that level is pretty much key, and price does react off it. The question mark, of course, is this the time that it stays below, or is it going back above it? I'm of the opinion that I don't really care for the longer term, but for the short term, it's, in my mind, has to offer some form of resistance. So for that reason, I've got to be on the side of the game changer bars that I've got sitting there, which of course is pointing us to the downside. Strong resistance area. We've got a trend line that is perfectly in confluence with the horizontal level as well. So I've got to be thinking short this one. Euro Swissy, it's just a matter of when and how I get into it, whether I'm willing to trade this bar as it is. There's a little bit of an issue with the monthly pivot, but there's plenty of room to get some profit in the bank before that is a real issue. So I think I'll be willing to do that tomorrow if the market doesn't gap substantially and I don't finish up with a ridiculous looking chart. So that makes sense to me. Euro Swissy, you could probably wait for it if you wished to give you a lower high off the back of that. I think that's called, some people call that an evening star. That looks very much like a reversal pattern to me. You could wait for that lower high in here somewhere. But I think that, as I say, if there's no gap in the market in the morning, then I will look to trade that bar short, be taking profit around about the monthly pivot area, which is, let me see, around about 1.0780. I'd be probably getting a little bit above that, around about the 108 mark, I would think. So that is Euro Swissy, and that is most definitely my favourite pair for the week ahead. There are a couple that I am interested in as well, not committed to, but interested. Reason, very similar to what I've just described on Euro Swissy, really. This is Euro Aussie, and Euro Aussie is at a bit of a turning point as far as I can see. Big doji the week before last, and last week tried to go lower and failed, but couldn't get back above this level, which is around about 160, 150 area. Yeah, look, it's a bit of a question mark at the moment, I've got to say. The look of this chart tells me we're going back towards these lows. Then I zoom in a little bit and I see that I've got a game changer bar pointing me to the upside. Problem with the upside is you've got a heck of a lot of resistance ahead. That trend line number one, the horizontal level number two, I don't think the reward to risk to get to that level is sufficient enough to get me interested. And then I look at this trend line and go a little bit wider, and it looks very much to me like not only the trend line have we come back underneath, but certainly this horizontal level that I pointed out before. And we've now probably retested that, or have we? And that's the question mark that I've got. Have we retested that level? I think maybe early in the week, I'd love to see price sneak back up to there in congruence with the game changer bar. And then I start looking for shorts in this area. It may not get there. We may simply go short and retest this bottom or support trend line. But at the moment, I think it's too hard to trade. I want to see something more than what I've got. If you have a look at the daily chart, which I am currently, it's giving me a false break of the support trade line in the opposite direction. So very, very interesting, this pair. If it were to break that horizontal level and probably even the monthly pivot, then give me a retest of that area or this area, then I think we're probably headed to test these highs. So it's by no means fait accompli for this one. I'm getting signals both directions, so I need to wait on it. But I think if I get a strong signal off if we're going to the short side, if I get a test of that level, then I would look to trade it short. If I get a setup, if I get a break of that level and a retest, then I would look to trade it in the opposite direction. So that's the key level for me, and I am watching it very, very closely. I may not even get a result this week or something that interests me. Something that has been interesting me for a few weeks now is Aussie Kiwi. And when you look at that chart, you're probably thinking, okay, this level's in for a retest or another test, and maybe even this level's in for another test. And I get that completely. But the one thing that really, really does stand out to me is not that chart, but this one. And this one's telling me that 9 of the last 12 weeks have been selling weeks. Now let's go, the last 9 weeks have been selling weeks. We are close to a support level, if not on a support level. We're very close to a support level. So the only way I can think right now as a potential trade is not short with what is another game changer bar. The high is higher than this one, and it's closed on or around its low. So it's a game changer bar, but is it a game changer? What game are we changing here? That's a game changer bar. You know, that's a game changer bar. So they're actually working perfectly, except for last week. And I traded this bar long. Fortunately, I cancelled it before that Aussie announcement, which was the RBA statement, and we didn't get taken into the trade. But I did replace the order for an obvious result, which no entry. I'm still willing to believe that we're going to get a retest of this level. Now, trading that is virtually impossible unless you're just a genius scalper and want to jump in at the bottom of that candle. I just don't get that in terms of reward or in terms of risk anyway. But what I will be waiting for is something maybe on a smaller time frame, this being the daily chart. Something of a reversal on Monday would be good, and then a higher low on Tuesday or Wednesday in this vicinity. Then I would be able to trade it. But until that happens, the answer will be no. But I certainly am not looking to continue to trade it short. I'll hang in there for another couple of weeks. As I said, 3 reserve banks had statements last week. The Aussie was one of them. And we got an inside bar on Aussie US dollar. We didn't get it on Aussie Kiwi. But I'm interested to know as to why the Kiwi, which has also got its issues with COVID, nowhere near as serious as New South Wales and Victoria, Australia, but it's also there. So I'm really interested to know what's driving this. And investigation probably early in the week needs to be done for me. But 9 weeks in a row, if you have a look at the charts and go back as far as you want, I don't think you'll find that's got a precedent. 9 weeks in a row. It's time for a breather, I reckon. And I'll be looking to trade that, definitely on the smaller time frames. Aussie Kiwi long. I'm not saying jump in now, saying wait for setup. Okay, that is my 2 cents worth for the week, and that is the show for the week. My thanks to those Ainslie and Ash in particular, who interrupted their sharing sessions with IFP, but also, of course, a very good big thanks to Julian, Shukri, and Alexis for joining us as well. They'll do it all again next week, as will I, and it's at that time that I look forward to your company. Have a great week ahead. Bye-bye for now.